Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today I'll be speaking with someone who has a unique opportunity for a couple to help run a bed and breakfast inn within the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas. Today's episode is brought to you by the featured employers at Workamper.com. These Workamper employers have taken an extra step to share some photos and detailed information about their Workamper programs. Opportunities exist for solos, couples, and families, whether they are full-time, part-time, seasonal, and even long-term jobs. Some are income opportunities, and others involve volunteering at locations throughout the United States. Go to workamper.com/FE to meet the featured employers today. Employers who are seeking to hire work campers can learn about the benefits of year-round recruiting by becoming a featured employer. More information about featured employers is available at workamper.com/FE details. Christopher Smith owns the Ozark Country Inn, which is a bed and breakfast inn located in Mountain View, Arkansas. The 115-year-old 7-bedroom home is considered a historic building, but it's been renovated several times to provide modern amenities. Mountain View is an idyllic small town. In fact, Christopher says people have to be intentional about visiting the community, known for its bluegrass and folk music. Ozark Country Inn is a popular bed and breakfast not only for its proximity to Mountain View's historic Court Square, but also because all the bedrooms have their own bathrooms. There's also a 2-bedroom cottage behind the main building with a full kitchen, living room, and dining room. A work camping couple is needed to help guests check in and out and to perform housekeeping duties after guests depart. They also ensure common areas are kept clean and tidy every day. Work campers help maintain the impressive flower gardens outside the home, and they prepare breakfast for the guests every morning. Ideally, Christopher is looking for a couple who is friendly, sociable, and loves dealing with people to provide genuine old-fashioned Southern hospitality. Work campers should be comfortable using computers. If they love to garden, especially tending flowers, that is a plus. The seasonal jobs begin in February and continue through July. However, work campers can opt to stay through November if they wish. To tell us more about this unique work camping opportunity in Arkansas, please welcome Christopher Smith, the owner of Ozark Country Inn Bed and Breakfast, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Christopher. I really appreciate your time. So tell us a little bit about the Ozark Country Inn and where it's located.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for having me on your show again. So the Ozark Country Inn is located just about a block and a half south of Main Street of downtown Mountain View, Arkansas. And Mountain View, Arkansas is right in the heart of the Ozark Mountains. It's a beautiful little mountain town. You've got a very lively downtown scene with restaurants and shops, outdoor music, great little place. And the Ozark Country Inn is just right within a short walking distance of the Court Square.
And how old is it?
It's about 115 years old. It's a historic building. It's been renovated several times to become more of a modern place to stay, but still keeping that old time feel.
And as a bed and breakfast, how many beds are there?
It has 7 rooms. 6 rooms we rent out online. We have 1 room that's really small, and we only let people rent that if they're just single. But it does have its own private bathrooms. All of our rooms have very nice bathrooms in the room, private. You don't have to share. Some people feel like a bed and breakfast. You're in someone's home. The Ozark Country Inn is designed for every guest to have their own private room, their own private bathroom in their room.
That sounds like a big facility.
It is. We also have a 2-bedroom cottage behind the main building. It's pet friendly. It's got a full kitchen, a big living room, and a dining room. And the RV pad is right next to it. But it's a very nice facility. We've been working the last year and a half getting it updated, freshened paint, new beds and new accommodations in different places. And so it's really looking nice.
What are some of the things that work campers do for the Ozark Country Inn?
So our work campers, where I'm looking for a couple, because it does take a little bit of time, but they'll be mainly doing the housekeeping duties after guests leave, keeping the common areas nice and clean and fresh for when guests check in, doing grounds maintenance, tending the flower beds. They'll be preparing breakfast and serving breakfast in our dining room. We do have a commercial kitchen, so everything's there prepared for breakfast, to cook breakfast. And they'll also be tending to guest concerns and helping guests out when they need to check in or if they have any issues. And so basically a lot of guest interaction. So I'm looking for a couple that are very friendly, sociable, love dealing with people. And the good thing about a bed and breakfast is that the people that come to a bed and breakfast are most of the time just absolutely lovely. So you get to meet people from all over the country that love to be with other people.
It is a different clientele, that's for sure. And do the work campers have to do the cooking?
Yes. So they'll be doing the cooking. They'll be doing the cooking and the serving. And it's usually a very easy job. We'll mostly have the most you usually have for breakfast is 12. And it's very easy cooking. We have recipes. We have everything set to do that with. When I first started out, I didn't cook at all, but I learned how to cook. And now people ask me if I went to school to cook. Of course I didn't, but I just follow these easy recipes. We have a really easy menu. And so it's a pretty easy, very fun activity.
What benefits do work campers bring to your operation compared to somebody locally?
So we love work campers. We started having work campers about 3 years ago, and it has just been wonderful for the most part. We did have one little upset, but for the most part, our work campers have been fantastic. I think the work campers, they're generally social people and they bring great interpersonal skills with them. They love interacting with people. They just fit into the bed and breakfast scene so well. And they're hard workers. They come prepared to work. And I think they're pleasantly surprised that it's not that hard. I know some work camping jobs are very intense. You're working at a campground and you're doing a lot of work, where here there's still some work. There's housekeeping duties, but it's mostly inside. There's some little bit of grounds maintenance, but most of your work you're doing inside out of the weather. And I think they're delightfully surprised that it turns out to be fun and they get to meet a lot of neat people and they get a lot of support too. So the work campers that we get, our work camping experiment per se, has just been a huge success because the work campers that I've dealt with are all hard workers, good, social, friendly people. I just love them.
Are these seasonal or year-round opportunities?
Yeah, so they are seasonal. We're looking for someone to start around February, really before the main season gets going. So come and get the bed and breakfast prepared for the season, learn the booking system, and ease into it. March is really the start of the season, and it's a slow start. April is when the season really gets going. And so there you get to learn a lot about the town itself, the music, the performers, the different things that you can do here that get a good idea of what guests can do for fun, like horseback riding, the Ozark Folk Center State Park, all the music venues, the art galleries, restaurants, and things like that. During that time, they can learn. Now, some people decide they'd like to stay for the whole season, which is March through November. But some like to come and just leave around July, and I'll be looking for another work camper couple around July.
So they're only working from February to July.
Yes, that they could be working from February to July around that date. And if they would like to stay longer, or if they decide they'd like to stay the whole season, I'm open to that as well.
How many hours a week are they typically putting in?
So I'm typically putting in about 30 to 40 hours a week, depending on how busy we are. Some weeks it may be less, some weeks it may be more, but yeah, generally about 30 to 40. And that's spread between the two. The first 15 hours of your work week go to pay for all of your rent, and the RV hookups are full. So You've got full hookups, 50 amp hookups, broadband Wi-Fi. And also there's some other perks that you get for staying here. You can get free admission to the Ozark Folk Center. Of course, you get a little bit of breakfast. And so there's some offsets there, but the first 15 hours of each week will go toward renting your space. And then we pay $12 an hour for each hour worked after that. It's not a whole lot of work after that, but it can get busy. Some weeks when we're full and we have guests during the week, then of course we pay a little bit more. So you'll get more hours.
So you're only looking for one couple at this point.
One couple, that's correct. One couple. And right now we have a work camper there and she's working by herself and we support her, of course. It's really easier for a couple to do it. And so I am looking for a couple and it's more relaxed and more enjoyable.
Are there any specific traits or qualifications you're looking for, such as hotel experience?
That is always a plus, as if they've had taking reservations, answering the phone, working with computers, and working with computers is almost a must. We do have a reservation system that you have to be a part of, and there's several applications, computer applications that you'll need to learn. They're not hard at all. If you have any basic computer skills, then that would be easy for you. But what is most important is interpersonal skills. I need someone who's going to be delightful to guests, be able to handle any conflicts, be able to handle if a guest is not happy, be able to, but present a really nice face to our guests that arrive, because they're coming to a bed and breakfast. They're expecting a high level of hospitality. So looking for a couple that are just super friendly, outgoing, and a lot of the other things can be learned, but absolutely must have wonderful social skills and interpersonal skills.
So they'll be interacting with guests all the time. Does it also mean that they'll be cleaning rooms after guests check out?
That's correct. There'll be housekeeping after the guests leave, usually on Sundays and Mondays, but we're not in a hurry. I do expect that when guests leave on Sunday that some rooms are clean to get ready in case we have a walk-in, but during the week, it's pretty laid back. I don't expect all the rooms to be cleaned all in one day, although it's usually pretty easy to clean. I do have a high expectation of cleanliness because when people come to a bed and breakfast, they expect a high level of cleanliness where it smells good, presents good. Everything is tucked just nice. And so attention to detail is paramount. So yeah, after they leave, we'll be expecting them to clean the rooms and get it ready for the next guest.
Is there any landscaping involved?
A little bit, but not so much landscaping as in taking care of the flower beds. And they're pretty easy. There's not anything complex about it. They're mowing the lawns around the main building and around the cottage. And watering, making sure the flowers are watered, making sure weeds are pulled or things like that. Probably maybe 1 to 2 hours per week, maybe sometimes a little bit more, but not involved. I like to give our work campers a little bit of freedom there. If they want to plant something or do something different, if they are into flower gardening, I say, go for it. Make it your own for the season that you're there. And I also like to share that personality with our guests too. I always promote our work campers as our new innkeepers, and we share a lot on social media. And so I like to involve our work campers in our work family. We do a lot of things together, and so I want it to be a fun experience for our work, where they carry away good memories.
We know that they have to do some cooking, and breakfast is a must at a bed and breakfast inn. But are they also doing anything else, like making snacks in the afternoon, or is it just that one meal?
Yeah, it's just the one meal, but we also do provide homemade cookies. And sometimes I'll do a batch of cookies and share it with them. And sometimes if it's a really busy week, I'll say, look, let me make a couple batches of cookies for you. So we work as a team. When one's busy, the other can take up a little slack. I have a young man that works for me and he loves baking. So if our work campers like to bake, then I'll ask, make something special that you like to have and make it. Or if you're real busy and need some help we'll bake some cookies for you to put out as snacks.
Because it's a bed and breakfast and they have to cook breakfast, what time of day do people typically start their shift?
So it can start up early. We like to have coffee ready by 7 in the morning. And depending on what the menu item is, you usually start about 6:30 to 7 getting breakfast prepared. Some of it you can do the day before and then have it ready to cook in the morning. But yeah, usually start about 7 in the morning, and we serve breakfast at 8:30. And usually, especially with two people working, you can have breakfast cleaned up by 10 or 11. And then you're free to do whatever you like that day. Now, if we have guests in the bed and breakfast, I do expect for you not to have to go out of town. But if you have to go out of town for some reason, or you want to take the day and do something, then just let me know and we can cover in case a guest needs something. And that's a good thing about me being close by, is that we can always make arrangements. Usually work campers have Tuesday, Wednesdays off, and they can go do whatever they like to do that day. But during times that we have guests, we do need them to be close by. They don't have to be on the property, but at least close enough if there's an emergency that they can go back to the inn, or they can call me and say, hey, we've got a guest that has a problem with the TV. And that's not really an emergency, an issue that we need to solve immediately.
What can guests do in that area when they're not working? I know that Mountain View, according to the map, is in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas.
It really is. It really is in the middle of nowhere. I always tease that you can't get to Mountain View by accident. But for this little bitty town in the middle of nowhere, there's a lot of activities. Greer Ferry Lake is just about 45 minutes away. But in town, if you're a lake person, there's horseback riding. There's Blanchard Springs Caverns, which is a beautiful cave system. And near Blanchard Springs, there's a lot of hiking trails. The Buffalo River is real close by for kayaking. We also have Sylamore Creek, which is real close for kayaking and canoe rentals. The White River is about 5 miles out of town. Wonderful fishing, and you can rent a boat and go out on the White River. There's the Ozark Folk Center State Park, which has a big craft village. They also have a big theater, and they do bluegrass and old time music festivals at least once a month during the season. We'll also have big star concerts. We've had Ricky Skaggs, Susie Bogus, and some other big names come through here and play. There's music everywhere, almost every night of the week. We have a big park with gazebos where people gather for impromptu jams. There's always live music on the Core Square stage. At the Wildflower next door, there's a live music venue. So you can go there for a free music show. We'll have popcorn and drinks, and you'll get to listen to some great live music. So there's always something going on.
It looks like Branson is only a couple of hours away as well. So when people have their days off, they can go up there and really explore that area.
That's absolutely true. Branson is just a couple hours away. Little Rock is just a couple hours away. There's some neat stuff to do around the Little Rock area. It's at Greer Ferry Lake is about an hour away. The Buffalo River is about an hour away. And the Buffalo River is the first river in the United States, and it is protected. So it's absolutely pristine. It's absolutely beautiful place if you like canoeing and kayaking. And there's a lot of hiking trails, a lot of natural things going on here and around Mountain.
You're recruiting right now for somebody to start next February. Is that right?
That's correct. I'm looking for a couple to start working in February, and I'd love to have them for the whole season. But if they want to work through June or July, through the end of June or into July, that would be perfect.
What can somebody do to really what's involved in the interview process?
I'm taking resumes now, and you can send those to my email address. My first initial C is in cat, last name Smith, 13364 @gmail.com. And what I'll do is I'll set up a Zoom interview with your resume. I'd like to have some pictures and references. And so once we get your resume, in the next 2 to 4 weeks, I'll be setting up Zoom interviews with the people that I'd like to talk to.
What can a Workamper do to really stand out if this is something they'd like to do?
So once you send me your resume, give me an email about some of the things that you really enjoy doing, some of the top ways that you've been in customer service, that you love people, what kind of interactions do you like with people? That's really the most important thing. Anything else we can teach pretty much, but I just want to know somebody is super friendly, loves talking to guests, loves greeting people, and loves making experiences for people, because we want people to leave with wonderful memories of mountain.
A lot of people might be afraid of working at a bed and breakfast because it's so different from a campground environment. What would you say to that?
That's a great question. So I know we've had people that have come that have never worked in a bed and breakfast, but we love those people because we can teach them what to do, and it's really easy. It's easier than you think it is. I also am the innkeeper and the owner of the Wildflower Bed and Breakfast, which is just 2 blocks north. And we have a great team here. I've got a couple of housekeepers here. I've got a young lady who works for me who does my social media, and she is just a fantastic young lady. I've got a great team here that supports our team over there at the Ozark Country Inn. So if you feel like you've never done it before and are a little scared, I would say send in your resume and we can talk and answer questions. A lot of times during the week, we'll take the phone so you don't have to answer the phone and make reservations. If you ever have any issues, we're just 2 blocks away, about a minute drive over there to the Ozark Country Inn, and within walking distance too. We want our guests to have a good experience, but we also want our work campers to have a good experience. And we've had work campers come to Mountain View, have never been in the mountains before, and leave here going, what a wonderful place and what a wonderful experience. I want our work campers to know that they are fully supported and we can make it work.
What's one thing that you wish all work campers knew before they came to work for you?
Is that it's not as busy and as hectic as they think it will be. That we are a family. I call all my folks my work family because we support each other. And we want you to have fun when you come to work. We want this to be a great experience. When you leave, we want you to feel like you have had a wonderful time here in Mountain View. So it's not near as hard as you think it will be. It's not near as hectic. And it's a great place to come, relax, and have a great experience.
Sounds like it. And a great opportunity to enjoy some old-fashioned folk music.
Yes, old-fashioned folk music and old-fashioned hospitality.
Where can people get more information about this opportunity?
So there is a link. You can go to o.com/workcamper-information, and that's on the Ozark Country Inn website. And you can look at the rooms and get some more information on the Ozark Country Inn. They're on the Ozark Country Inn website.
That's great. Thank you very much, Christopher. I really appreciate your time. Sounds like a great opportunity for the right couple. And I hope people will take advantage of this and give you a call.
I hope so too. And we've had great experiences with our work campers, and I'm looking forward to getting more work campers to come and work with us.
I enjoyed speaking with Christopher Smith, the owner of Ozark Country Bed and Breakfast, about a rather unique work camping opportunity for the right couple. Although work campers would start in February to help get the home ready for guests, they pretty much ease into their duties because the inn doesn't start getting really busy until April. The busiest the inn ever gets is hosting 12 guests at a time. Christopher explained that work campers are expected to make a commitment until July. At that time, the couple can move on or opt to stay the entire season and work until November. If the couple opts to leave in July, then you'll be looking for a replacement to work from July through November. Work campers typically work 30 to 40 hours per week. The first 15 hours of the work week are devoted to covering the cost for a 50-amp full hookup RV site near the cottage behind the main building. However, work campers are paid $12 for every hour beyond the first 15 that they work. The days typically begin by 7 a.m. whenever there are guests staying at the inn. That way breakfast is ready to be served by 8:30 a.m. and everything is cleaned up by 11 at the latest. After that, work campers have the rest of the day off. Christopher does ask that work campers remain in town when guests are staying at the facility or are expected to check in that day. However, arrangements can be made to cover duties if the work campers want to travel. They typically have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. He said bed and breakfast inns attract a special type of clientele who are typically more laid back and sociable than guests found at other types of accommodations. Cooking breakfast isn't difficult. Workampers simply follow recipes to prepare an easy menu of standard breakfast items. For a small town, Mountain View provides a lot of recreational opportunities for workampers to engage in during their free time. Horseback riding is popular, but so is touring art galleries and enjoying bluegrass or folk music at many venues. Local restaurants provide a lot of dining options. Christopher said there is music playing somewhere nearly every night during peak season. However, Branson, Missouri is only a few hours away, and so is Little Rock, the capital of Arkansas. People who enjoy outdoor activities will find plenty to do in nearby Greers Ferry Lake and Buffalo National River. Applications are being accepted right now for the job starting in February. For more information, visit www.ozarkcountryinn.com/workcamper-information. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. With its Diamond and Platinum membership tools, Workamper News is much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your workamping dreams into reality. The one-year membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things workamping. Being the original resource for workamping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with the community of workampers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable workamping lifestyle, then a Diamond or Platinum membership is for you. You can even get started with a free 30-day trial by visiting www.workamper.com/trial. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all I have for today's show. Next week, I'll be speaking with another employer about an incredible workamping opportunity deep in the Alaskan wilderness. I'll have that interview on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thank you for listening, and if you like these interviews, please consider leaving a review wherever you download the episodes.